do you feel a quote unquote Miami effect?
Yeah, I more than doubled my income since we here. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pink things I like, man. You know what I'm saying?
Like I skip breakfast. It's because I'm if it's good in school. Like if I eat breakfast, I want to take a shit later. I didn't like shitting at school. I wouldn't mind like eating lunch. I just wait till like 3 hours, right? But if I have to take a shit in the morning and hold it all the way to come home at night,
you didn't want to say, yo, I want to lose some weight and then get fat again, right? That shit was an accident, right?
Welcome back to the Seeking Success podcast, #1 podcast in Toronto, but we're here in Miami. We got Cory Armstrong in the house. What's up, brother?
Greetings. What's up, guys? You know what I'm saying? Do I do my AKAs and shit? Like all the intro? Do I intro myself?
Sure. Yeah.
Hey, what's good, guys? Hey, it's your boy Cory Armstrong, AKA Buff, Bald, and Bearded, AKA Rip Ross, AKA. Hey, we get shit going.
Let's go. Let's go. It's super
Yeah.
dope. Side note, Cory's on fast right now, 72-hour fast.
Yeah.
Coming towards the end.
Something light, man. Nothing crazy.
So if he says anything delusional, we didn't force him to say anything. Should I put that out there? Disclaimer.
Holy shit.
Dude, let's talk about the fast, because interesting. You said you just came from Toronto, eating like shit. We're in Miami right now. We're going back home soon. You can imagine. We've been eating microwave meals, Taco Bell, sexy fish, you know?
Oh, y'all was eating fish in this motherfucker?
Not in this, not in the
here.
apartment, but like when we went out. Like,
Some fishy things happened here, but we were.
I got you. Okay.
When we go back to Toronto, should we just can we just jump into a 72-hour fast without like practicing? Or
I mean, I don't know how well it's gonna go for you if you just hop in like that. I would prep first.
Okay.
What I'm saying? Like, so anybody who wants to, like, you ain't gotta do what the fuck I'm doing. Like 72 hours, it's a little wild, it's a little excessive, it's a little extreme. But I am very experienced.
Yeah.
One of the AKAs I didn't mention is, you know, some people call me the father of fasting. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I teach this shit, you know what I'm saying? And you know, the thing is, it's like I think you know, if you're going to fast, like you really gonna do it, obviously set like a target of like length, right? You know, pause. But then also like make sure you set up yourself for a successful fast.
Fair.
You know, focus on not just the elimination of things, but what you're gonna replace it with.
Fair.
You know, you guys saw what the fuck I came in here with, a water bottle. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to water, right? That's what keep us motherfucking energized.
Yes,
but
sir.
it's what's in here is I got some electrolytes in here.
Okay.
And I like caffeinated like crazy before I came. So like replacing the food with certain things that can actually not only suppress the appetite, but also just keep you fueled and energized and get you through the fast.
Okay, and when you say electrolytes, are we talking about just regular sea salt or like one of those electrolyte packets?
Electrolyte packets, man.
Okay.
I like a little twang.
Like a little bit of taste.
Shit, you know?
Fair.
You know how it is.
Get all the chemicals in your body, mess you up.
A little chemical something. You never know what comes out of it.
Fair.
So you talked about prepping for a 72-hour fast. What is the actual prep regime like?
My prep regime is it's very strategic, guys. Like, you want to know the boring shit, I break it down. All right. So I have a water goal. So I set my intent on like actually getting a certain designated amount of ounces, you know, for the fast. So within the day, you know, every day normally I'm at least going to get 128 fluid ounces. That's a gallon.
Okay.
Right, but if I'm going for like a 24-hour fast, right, or even extended fast, if I'm going something shorter, because I do different windows of time, you know, I will set a target that's higher than that, because you need to actually increase your hydration if you're, you know, pushing nutrients out. Because what happens when you're not eating is naturally your body goes into this state of like sort of flushing water out.
Okay.
You know, and so when you lose the water, you'll lose your electrolytes too.
Yes.
So hence that's why I'm adding the electrolytes packs in there to compensate for that. So, you know, typically on a 24, you know, I got to get at least 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons.
Damn.
You guys are Canadian, so
Like 8 liters.
Yeah.
I was
liters?
just saying, you know what the fuck that means?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's like, so it's a good 6 to 8 liters of water, you know,
That's
a day.
insane. A day? Holy fuck, that's a lot of water.
It's like, you know, like the milk jug we have in there, like 2 of those.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Insane.
That's crazy.
You in here drinking milkshakes and shit?
Not
like a milk
like
jug.
those.
I got you.
Yeah.
No judgment, man.
Why do you say it's like plain milk?
Yeah.
Yeah, but a milk jug. Because back the reason why I said jug is back in Canada
said
we
shake.
get milk out of bag. No, I said the milk jug. Did I say shake?
He said shake.
You said shake.
Oh,
Yeah,
see, I'm
that's
just.
what I heard.
He's also he's also fasting for 72 hours.
No, I'm gonna say the milk jug because we got bags back in Canada.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Which I don't know why we have milk bags. It's so retarded.
And it's crazy because it's
Milk
not in all
bag.
Canada. When I was in Vancouver, they also have jugs.
Yeah. How much milk is in a milk bag?
It's actually 1 gallon, but they divide into 3 bags, like 1.1 or 1.2 liters a bag.
Yeah. I mean, did that ever get messy? Like, do you just like spill that shit?
Now
I
you
think I
put
had-
you have a pitcher You
Yeah.
put the milk bag in the pitcher,
Into the
and then some
pitcher.
people like at our house at least we just cut
Yeah,
a
we
small
cut the-
hole.
yeah,
Yeah.
Man, the things you never knew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I never thought I would need that information, but now I got it.
boom, there you go.
Here we are.
Next time you're in Canada and you
Yeah.
need milk,
Yeah.
Go to the
Got
strip
it.
club.
You know what else I noticed about Canada? Because I was there last week.
yesterday actually.
Yesterday, actually, yeah. But see, it's already starting. The fast is already kicking in. Like last week, no, it was yesterday. You know, you guys talk faster than us. Did you guys notice that when you got here that you guys like have a faster cadence with how you talk? Than,
Okay,
like,
so low key,
Americans?
both of us talk fast as hell.
Yeah, but is it just y'all though that talk fast?
Maybe Americans are just
point.
slow.
I think that's what it is, man. I think we just.
Okay, one thing I will say is
What's up?
the average American is definitely dumber than the average Canadian, right?
What are you basing this off
Some
of?
people, some people might resent that, but hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm not here to argue that. You know what I mean?
Like I don't know, like just based off the little intro, not like with our podcast guests. Like, all of our guests are obviously smart,
I
upper
didn't,
echelon.
you know what I'm saying? I didn't take it offensive. You were swearing. No, I was just
But I don't
like,
know, low key just like interacting with like public people, just like
Yeah.
workers, random people. I'm definitely getting like,
What? I mean, I guess what have you guys noticed since being here?
like they're just, you know what I'm talking about, right?
My views are not aligned with him on this.
Okay.
Because that's crazy. Average Canadian versus average American. That's crazy. We
100%
are
the average
because
Canadian.
here's the thing, man.
Yeah.
You're not from Miami either. We're not from Miami.
No.
Miami's not a real place.
Yeah,
Like,
oh,
we
okay.
go out and
Explain.
do some public interviews,
Yeah.
right? And like these are cartoon characters in real life. Like, we had like a guy doing a music video the other
Yeah.
day. Like he was on so much drugs he didn't know where he was. You
Yeah.
know, like
You'll get that. You'll get
So-
that here. You know what I mean? And that's why part of the reason why I decided when I moved here. For those that don't know, I'm from Detroit originally, and I moved down here 2 years ago. But I didn't move right into Miami. I moved into Greater Miami.
Okay.
So I moved into Fort Lauderdale, which is like 30, 45 minutes north of here.
Yeah.
So you get the close proximity of Miami to do Miami shit, but you're not living in
Yeah.
Miami. You're not in the midst of, would you say, the cartoons?
Cartoon
and
characters,
shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I could watch cartoons on TV. I don't need to live in it. You know what I'm saying?
crazy.
You know? So that's just my take.
It's crazy. Okay, how long ago did you move to Miami?
So
Oh,
it's-
sorry, Fort Lauderdale, I guess.
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years
man.
ago?
2 years, yeah.
Do you feel a quote unquote Miami effect?
Fucking hell.
What the fuck is that?
So the Miami effect's a phenomenon that's going on TikTok. The people from
Wait, are you making this up?
no, I swear,
No,
I swear.
no,
It's-
okay,
it's a real
all
thing.
right.
So it's people that move usually in Canada, but all across the world, and they come to Miami.
Okay.
They say when they come to Miami, their income grows significantly. And they're
Oh.
starting to call it the Miami effect. That when they're here, it's affecting Miami's making the quality of life better. Usually because their income's up, maybe the weather as well. But
Yeah, bro. Like, I think that shit's real.
yeah,
Yeah, I more than doubled my income since moving here.
that's crazy.
But like, what made it Miami that doubled your income and not just all the time?
so how much do you guys know about like psychology?
A decent amount, I'd say.
What's a decent amount? What's that?
I don't have a degree.
Okay.
But I
Alright.
read a lot of psychological books.
Okay, there you go. So,
Sam Ovens courses, you know.
I took one college class in psychology 101.
So-
Like
so you're an
I know about the dog.
yeah.
Like, come on, shallow puppy.
I,
Get that boy
so
salutated.
I'm really big into like just reading in general and like how the brain works, right? And so when you think about like the close proximity of certain things, what people don't recognize is that the things that you focus on will dictate the direction of your life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, so, you know, there's a part in your brain called the reticular activation system, you know, RAS. And basically this system is designed to filter out non-important information.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm at home. Don't go to sleep. I'm gonna get to why that's important here in a second, but I got to break this shit down. So the reticular activation system, it filters out stuff that, you know, is irrelevant. So let's say if I was like, hey guys, you know, looking around the room and tell me what's yellow, right? Like your brain will start to focus on the yellow.
Yeah.
Even though the yellow was there before I said it,
Yeah.
you wasn't thinking about it until I said it.
Yeah, yeah,
There's the same reason why, like if you think about the car that you drive, for example, you know, before you drove it, you didn't see it a lot, but then you start driving it and what? You feel like
everywhere.
it's everywhere. It's not magical, like magically popping into your realm. It's just that your brain is now focused on it, so it's picking up more of that.
Yeah.
So how does this relate to moving to Miami? Well, what's in Miami? A lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of abundance and wealth here. I call it you got the 3 W's, man. You know what I'm saying?
But wealth, women. What's the third one?
Weather.
Ah.
You know what I'm
Wealth,
saying?
woman, weather.
Wealth, women, and weather. So it's like when you're surrounded by people who are doing big things and movers and shakers, pause, and then, you know what I'm saying, you're seeing this abundance firsthand. You know, it's like you build more belief that it's actually possible for you, and so your brain starts to focus more on the opportunities than any limitations that you may have been imposed on you by either the environment that you're in, the people that you were surrounded by, or just, you know, whatever you were conditioning your brain to at that time. So for me, like, that was it for me. Like, that was big reason why I moved down here. Like, yeah, you know, the other 2 W's is cool and shit, but you know, I'm looking to leave a motherfucking legacy for my family, right? So I was like, all right, I got to do this move for that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's like the pink elephant thing, right? Like if you say pink elephant, now you can't stop thinking about a pink elephant.
Pink elephants. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pink things I like, man. You know what I'm saying? When I think about that,
You know what his third pink thing is?
What's that?
Pork.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Swiney swine.
That's crazy. Well, I'm glad we're talking about food. Let's talk about food. Summer's around the corner, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to get ripped.
Come on, man.
I know there's no
What are
such
you
thing as
ripping?
get rich quick. Sorry, get ripped quick.
Yeah.
But what's the fastest way to that 6-pack summer, man?
6-pack summer. Okay, so
Tell me,
you
bro.
want me to give you my keys?
Yeah, let's
my
get the
keys to
keys.
success. All right, so I give y'all some game, man. I really think, like, when it comes to getting ripped, like there's really 3 core elements, right? So I teach my clients the first core element is nutrition, the second one's training, and the third one is like discipline, right? And if you get these 3 right, dialed in, there's no way you can fail. Really, there really isn't. But the problem most people face, I tell you, it's 2 problems I see, and the 3 keys that I just gave you to solve these problems. But one, most people are out here without a fucking plan. You know what I'm saying? They out here winging it. They out here like, you know, I'm going to just run a bunch on a treadmill and lose the weight, or I'm going to just stop eating or only eat salads or do this fucking goofy ass diet. And what's happening is, you know, they'll get some success, but then they'll stall and they won't know what to do next because they wasn't following the plan anyway.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, you know, if you're like converting over to healthy choices, that's stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
Because if you knew what healthy choices was, you wouldn't have never gotten fat in the first place. You'd already be ripped. So why would you take your own advice? Right? It makes sense to take advice from somebody who has results. Second thing behind that is just to get a system to hold you accountable to, right? You know what I mean? Like I mentioned discipline, because discipline is doing things regardless of how you feel. But it's like, what makes discipline easy is accountability of some sort. So
Yes.
whether it's some form of tracking, having somebody else coach you and help you track, you know, being surrounded by, you know, people who are on the same path. I'm sure to some degree, like, you guys hold each other accountable to doing this show, you know, because one or both of you might not feel like doing it, but it's like, I don't want to leave my homie hanging, right? And it's like, it's like,
not him, it's me.
Yeah, it's like you can get that with your fitness too, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think those are the 2 things people fuck up with. If you focus on getting a strategy with nutrition, a strategy with training, and you find a way to become more disciplined, right? Like, you can't fail, man.
Fair.
So those are the big 3.
Fair.
Okay, so let's talk about the 6-pack abs thing. Okay, so when I was like younger,
All right.
I had a
How young we talking?
at the ripe age of like 17, 18.
Okay.
That's right.
I think most guys. Well, I shouldn't.
I
say
almost, yeah, unless you're fat,
that. Yeah.
you have a fucking 6-pack, right?
Unless
it
you
doesn't-
fucking up. Yeah. You got something.
So here's the thing. So I was always like a skinnier kid.
Okay.
And then after the pandemic, I became skinny fat, which is the worst fucking thing ever, right? Because
Yeah.
you don't bulk, you don't cut, you have to recomp. Whatever the fuck that means.
You're kind of in the middle.
Exactly. So it's terrible, right? So for someone like me, other than so I was told training abs isn't really gonna do much. What you really have to do is calorie deficit, eat a bunch of protein, and train.
Okay. But
Other than that, what do I do to get a 6-pack, bro?
that's
Probably
what
train
I'm
the
saying.
abs.
Well, let's start there at the advice. Like, that's part of the things, but why do those things work? Right? Why does protein work? Like, why does calorie deficit work? You know what I mean? Like, I think the inherent thing that fucks people up when it comes to this type of advice is you get the what but not the why. You know what I mean? You're getting the protein to help you, but why would it help me? You know what I mean? I need to be in the calorie deficit, but why though? And for how long? Is this forever, right? Like, So I think we got to fill in the blanks with like what the fuck that shit even means. And
Sure.
and obviously, you know, to get the 6-pack, I can give you some game on that. So first and foremost, yes, to lose fat, you got to be in a deficit,
Yeah.
right? And so with you being skinny fat, and that's not disrespect, man. You said it, not me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Don't be
for
throwing
sure.
shit at me. You know what I mean? But you know, for you to lose the fat, you got to be in a deficit
Yeah.
to some degree, right? Because
100%.
your body taps into that fat and uses it as energy when you
Don't have anything.
Yeah,
Yep.
when you don't have anything. So you got to do that. You got to implement that. Do I think you shouldn't like train your abs? I actually think you should. You know?
No. Sorry, let me correct that.
Okay.
So they didn't say don't train your abs.
Okay.
They're saying just going to the gym and training abs every day is going to get you a 6-pack.
Yeah.
And which, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely so usually after every workout, I try and do at least 2-3 ab exercises. I'll alternate days. So yeah, I'm definitely training abs.
Okay.
Yeah. My bad.
So okay, so you understand that facet of it is like train your abs because when you lose the fat, you want to have abs to show.
Exactly. And you want to have the muscle, and
Yeah.
the abs are already there. It's just
Yeah.
fat's in front of it right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you understand that capacity. Now the protein thing. What is that? Well, protein has a job in your body, just like carbohydrates have a job in your body, just like fats, dietary fats have a job in your body. Protein's job is to maintain and repair muscle. You know what I mean? So essentially, like you're emphasizing that while restricting calories so that you can maintain as much of that muscle that you say you already have underneath the fat. And the other caveat to that, the other thing that's like very beneficial is that, you know, protein is more filling. Pause, right? Like you, yeah, exactly. Like you won't be as hungry if you're eating protein. Like think about eating, I don't know, 16-ounce steak and how you would feel after that versus eating, you know, a bag of rice, right? You'll be okay for a minute, but then you want some more fucking rice, right? Because your body will burn through it quick, you know. And so it's one of those things that's like, you know, if you focus on protein, you're more likely to be able to remain in that deficit. And that's what I teach my guys. I'm like, hey, get you a certain scoreboard of how many calories you should consume, right? Get a target for protein and just focus on really targeting that as much as you can while staying within your calories. And, you know, that's gonna lend itself better to, you know, sustainable success, right? You lose the fat, but you're able to keep it off because you kept the protein in there.
Yeah.
And protein is gonna, you know, help the muscle. The muscle helps your metabolism, right? Your metabolism goes higher. Now you lost this fucking fat. And you ain't gonna get fat again. You know what I'm saying? What's not to like about that? You know?
Sure.
So, you know, going back to your question, because I had to break that shit down, man.
No,
'Cause
for
people
sure,
be
for
asking
sure.
me all these questions. So how do you how do you make this fit you? Well, you gotta figure out how many calories that you need to be in a deficit.
It's like a BMI calculator.
Maybe, you know what I mean? I mean, you can go that hard if you want. You can do some dirty math. We can do it right now. How much do you weigh in
Take a
pounds?
guess.
170.
Oh, close. I hover from like 160 to 165.
Okay. So 165. If I was coaching you, I'd tell you to take your body weight in pounds, right? So 165, let's just say that multiplied by 10, right? And that's the number of calories that should put you in a deficit.
Holy fuck.
You know, bearing in mind that you are actually training consistently, right? You ain't got no hormonal imbalances or anything like that. And you hit that target number of calories while predominantly getting protein, so at least 160 grams, 165 grams of protein, you're going to be satisfied enough to be able to maintain it and then lose weight.
That's crazy. 1,600
That's
calories is
nothing.
fucking nothing. Like I have to literally
That's
eat.
like two decent meals, 800 calories each.
No, for sure. But I'm saying like, damn.
Yeah.
Wait,
But you said you wanted to get ripped.
I do, yeah. So that's what I do.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't got to do it. You can
No,
stay-
I
you
have
can
to do
stay-
it.
You can stay like this.
No,
man.
it's
That's
definitely-
nobody's forcing you.
I like that. I have to do that.
Okay, now I got a question.
What's up?
So, using the calories you just give Radies, 600 calories, right?
Yeah, 600.
And this is like, if you chose an approach of if it fits your macros approach, right? Where like,
Right.
or not even if it fits your macros, just a caloric deficit where he's eating 1,600 calories. But let's just say there's some McDonald's in there, some candy bars in there.
Yeah.
He never goes over. He's in a deficit, right? How would that affect his results? Versus,
good
versus
question.
originally you were saying like, you know, go high
Yeah.
protein. I've always had a question, you know? I'm like,
That's a good question. So I think there's a big difference between like losing weight and getting lean, right? You know, losing weight and getting ripped, however you want to say it. Losing weight is like you can just see the scale drop, you know, and you can be in that calorie deficit number that you just said and do it no problem. but how's your body gonna look? You know what I mean? A good example of weight loss is like, y'all know who DJ Khaled is, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? DJ Khaled lost some weight recently with Weight Watchers. You know what I'm saying? But DJ Khaled looks the same.
That motherfucker's still fat.
You know what's funny? It's like we use this example often, but you know, like when you're like dragging a tool on like Photoshop, for example, it's like you just extend or like shrink a little bit. It's like it's got to be smaller.
Exactly. That's what you're gonna look like, a smaller version of the same fucking body you got now. If you lose weight, because you're gonna lose fat and muscle, and your shape never changes. So that's, I mean, you guys who are just, hey, you know, can I just follow the calories? Yeah, you can do that, but you're gonna lose some weight. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get ripped, it's a little bit more intricate of a process. You have to now determine the right ratios of the macros, prioritize getting the protein, and stay in the calorie deficit. You know, it's like the difference between, you know, having an average chick and having a baddie. You know what I'm saying? You can have an average chick and hang out with her sometimes, and she'll be happy, right? But if you got a baddie, not only you got to hang out with her, but you got to help her stay bad, right? You got to pay for shit, you know what I'm saying? You got to be a top tier, high value type of dude so other dudes don't take it from you. So it's like, it's, you know, you can have either one. It's just what kind of work are you willing to put in for
Interesting.
Yeah, I always wondered that because like I've always had these things where like I'll have like, I guess like yo-yo dieting, right? Like lose a bunch of weight, gain it back, and like I've always, the main approach is like, okay, calories in versus calories out,
Right.
And then like, you know, never actually prioritizing the right things to eat.
Yeah.
You know, this is very interesting.
Okay, and so again, just
Have you, side note, not to cut you off,
No, go ahead.
have you ever heard of the Twinkie diet before?
The Twinkie diet,
Yeah.
no.
So you know, Google this shit when you get a chance. You
you
guys
think you
do-
look like a Twinkie?
Yeah, you remember that diet where only 3 Twinkies now?
It's a real thing. There was a professor at a college who did the experiment to see if calorie deficit works. So if it needs to be healthy food or not. He literally went on a diet where he ate nothing but Twinkies, but he tracked everything and he made sure that he was adhering to a calorie deficit. And that motherfucker lost weight. He did. He lost weight. He lost, I don't remember the exact stat, but he lost a substantial amount of weight. And his body looked pretty much the same. I mean, that motherfucker don't look how I want to look, but he did lose weight. So you motherfuckers is like fighting, you know, this whole idea of tracking the protein and the macros. Like, you can do it, but, you know, you probably won't see the change you really want to see.
Yeah.
You'll see a change, but it might not be what you really want to see.
Interesting. That's 100% fact. So I remember in high school too, when I was like working out, I would still kind of like eat whatever, and like sure, I got like a little something. But like recently, when I started going to the gym, it was like within like a month, like I quickly built a frame. Quickly, like actually started seeing like, my traps came in, everything was starting to come in. And then I was like, again, I started off skinny fat, right? So I was like, now summer's coming. Trying to go to the beach, you know, like hang out to the beach with like a little, you know, I need like,
you know, because the summer's gonna come whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
It's like what you gonna look like when they get here. You know?
Okay, so question again.
Yeah.
So I'll follow your thing, right?
Okay.
Like you, 100%, and I'll even DM you in a month to tell you and everything, right?
That's great, man.
100%.
I can't wait to hear.
Dead ass. Well, how long do you think it will take? Because that's the question everyone wants to know.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, it's not even really how long, pause, that it would take. It's like how, you know, how hard are you, pause, willing to go, right? That's really the real question. Like, how bad do you want to see that result?
Well,
how
let's
bad
just
do
say
you
like
see that change?
every day, fuck it, a cheat day once a week. So 6 days a week.
Okay.
I'm doing 1,600 calories, getting 160 grams of protein, training 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay. I mean, listen, I mean, you got to give me more stats than that. Like, what's your sleep like? What's your steps like? Like, give me some of that stuff. Like, how's the rest
6
of
to
your
8
life?
hours of sleep a day.
How many steps you get a day?
Fucking couldn't tell you, honestly.
Okay, so maybe start there, like track that, because that gives you another. See, here's the thing. It's like when you look to get like results and you want to get results quickly, you want to put the primary focus on the needle movers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You guys are business guys, so you probably know the concept of leading indicators and lagging indicators.
Yes.
You've heard of this. So, you know, a lagging indicator is what happened, right? So this is the end result of what, you know, the leading indicators are. Leading indicators are the habits that form lagging indicators. So an example, if anybody doesn't know what the fuck this is, it's like your bank account, right? Your bank account is a lagging indicator of everything that you did to produce that amount of income. So if you don't have the type of money that you want to have, you have to change the leading indicators. You have to change your financial habits with money, expenses, savings, and even your profit potential, your ability to actually generate income, right? So it's the same with your fitness, right? If you don't like where you at, you have to look at all the things that led to where you at. And so, yeah, food is one of them.
Yep.
Training is one of them.
Yep.
Sleep is one of them. But then you also got water. Then you also got steps, right? Then the other one is like stress levels, right? Like these things all actually, lead up to you looking how you look. So if you get dialed in on these things that are conducive to the results that you desire, you can determine how much, how aggressive you want to get in one area or another. So like you see, I got this motherfucking ring on. I'm not married.
Little
right?
Oura ring?
It's an Oura ring.
Sick.
Yeah. So I track my sleep. It tracks my steps. It tracks the amount of calories it thinks I burn as it pertains to my metabolism. It's not super accurate, but it's close enough. And it even gives me feedback on like my stress levels throughout the day. So if I really want to get aggressive, I can look at this thing and say, all right, well, it's telling me that I need to go to sleep at this time. It's telling me that I get this many steps. I can decide to scale up on this. You know what I mean? If it's telling me I'm stressed at this time of day, maybe I change my schedule so I don't, have stress. Because what people don't recognize is stress releases, hormones that actually blunt fat loss. One of them's cortisol. Right? You already know this, right? So it's one of those things where, if you got more leading indicators that you can manipulate, you can get as aggressive as you want, right? Okay. I came on the pod and said I'm doing 72-hour fast, right? So if I'm wanting to get really aggressive, like what if I just said, oh man, I'm not gonna eat, but I wasn't tracking it, right? It'd probably feel like it's taking forever, but I'm tracking it. I know how much time I'm spending not eating. I can scale it up. I can scale it down. I know how much calories I'm taking in. That's my scoreboard, right? I can scale up, scale down week to week. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with my steps, same thing with all that stuff. So I think just get the data, bro, and then just use the data to tell you what to do each week. Track what you did in a week, maybe track your calories, track your workouts, track your steps, track your sleep, even track your water. And then at the end of the week, what did you get? If you lost some weight, you're on the right track. Because now it's like, man, I lost this much weight. What if I want to lose more? Well, now you just decide if you're going to cut back on more calories or move more. Or, what I'm saying?
Or lose some stress, quit the podcast.
Yeah. It's like, fuck these, fuck these bitches, right? Like, whatever you got to do to eliminate stress from your life, do it,
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay, I got a question. Before I ask you this question, just very briefly, what's your professional background before the fitness content?
Oh, yeah. So, funny enough, you
was
guys
it like fucking a degree in health science? It's crazy.
So I actually have a degree in civil engineering technology. And
I think you're kind of in the middle of the frame.
Oh shit!
No, you're good. You're good.
Everything good? Okay.
You can scooch over that way.
No, I was like, you're going to sit on my lap, bro. Like,
God.
Sorry, go ahead.
Some brotherly love going on over here. Now I have a degree in construction management, a bachelor's degree, and an associate's in civil engineering technology. So I'm definitely not doing what I'm.
Yeah, I was gonna say what
completely different.
Crazy. Yeah. Okay, because the reason I was gonna ask the next question I want to ask is fitness pertaining. Now, a lot of people say especially when you're trying to lose weight or even like lose fat and put on muscle, they should avoid cardio completely, right? Yeah. I'm a person who actually enjoy running, as psychotic as it sounds, right?
Yeah. Why do you enjoy it?
Great question. I couldn't run before at all. I could not run before at all.
How do you mean?
Like I'd be on a treadmill and like it'd be like 2 minutes and like I think my heart's gonna come out of my mouth,
Wow.
And I was a thing where like it'd be like one day 3 minutes, one day 4 minutes, and then like building up to an hour, right? Yeah. So like it's one of those things where like I hate doing it, but like when I complete the run, it's like a game for me. Like I ran this many kilometers, so it's like a dopamine release, if that makes sense, right?
Like a sense of achievement.
Yeah, exactly. I track. I have the Nike app, so I track my kilometers, how much kilometers I'm punching in, type of thing.
Tracking,
right?
I learned from it.
Gamify that shit.
And
you feel like I did something. Right?
Yeah. So people were saying like, oh, you shouldn't do cardio, you should weight lift. I'd be said, fuck you, and I run first, and then I'd go hit the weights like later in the day. Sometimes in the same session. Yeah. But if I wanted to take like, I want to put some muscle, drop the fat. Seriously, is there merit to like maybe we stop running completely or?
I think there's some merit to it, but it's not the whole story, right? Because like here's the thing, like running causes certain adaptation, and weightlifting causes a certain adaptation, and they're opposing adaptations. They're opposing signals. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you can drive your car and you can turn right and you can turn left, but you can't do both at the same time, right? So when it comes to what your body's doing when you send the signal to adapt to cardio, it's really just adapting at getting better at aerobic activity, getting your heart more conditioned and actually being able to get to that point where you have the endurance, so you don't feel like you're gonna die, right? Your respiratory system improves, and the benefits just that come from better circulation and better blood flow, right? You said you get the release of the endorphins, all those things come from it, but it's in opposition to strength training, you know what I'm saying? Because strength training, it tells your body to actually get stronger, so create more mass and create this mass with the purpose of being able to move your body better and actually, create a better structure for your motherfucking bones. Be out here breaking up. You guys ever seen that movie, Unbreakable?
No.
Okay. What about Split? You ever seen that?
No.
What about Glass? You ever see that?
I want to say yes, but
okay.
No.
All right. This is motherfucking trilogy. Never mind. So I'm about to ruin a part of the movie for you, but the movie's like fucking 20 years old, man. So fuck it, man.
Oh, it's older than us.
Yeah. That's why you ain't seen it. It's an old ass movie, right? I didn't even ask that. How old are you guys?
Okay, it's older than us, but you have to guess again.
Okay, all right.
Wait, the guessing game.
You guys 25?
Yeah, I'm
He's
25.
Okay. Expired. I'm 23.
Okay, I got you. So young bucks, right? So there's this movie called Unbreakable, and there's this character in it called Glass, and it's like scenes like, because his thing is like his bones is brittle like glass. So if he fell down a pair of steps, like every bone will break, right?
Crazy.
That your muscles protect you from shit like that. You know what I mean? And in accordance with that, there's also just the hormonal benefits, right? Because you release more testosterone, which is important for guys, for reproductive purposes, for strength purposes, for hitting your goals, for actually looking and sounding like a man, right? So all that shit comes from strength training. And then when you talk about which one is more conducive to the aesthetic look, of actually looking lean, looking ripped, like that is having more muscle, right?
Sure.
So prioritizing the strength over the cardio.
Sure.
So it's not to negate the effects of cardio, it's just different. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have probably seen, the little memes of sprinters versus long distance runners, right? You guys have seen that, so sprinters look
like
lean and ripped and aesthetic. That's because they're training their muscles for short bursts of activity. Whereas, the marathon runners, the motherfucking distance runners, they look brittle and frail and all emaciated. They look like the Crypt Keeper. You guys know who that is? All right, the people at home might know who that is. Another old ass show. You haven't noticed, I'm fucking old, right? But the Crypt Keeper, man, he's a skeleton. You know what I'm saying? The toes.
Oh, the skeleton. Yeah.
Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, the skeleton. Yes.
Tales from the Crypt. But
the skeleton.
You look like that motherfucker if all you're doing is cardio. You just look all emaciated and frail. So it's like it's not that cardio's bad. It's just it doesn't lend itself to the aesthetic goal as much as strength does.
Fair.
So I would say prioritize this, and if you do enjoy this, like incrementally implement it in behind the actual strength.
So okay, let's just say we're like building a rough schedule, right? Mm-hmm. We're training weights 5 days a week and like running 3 days.
Running. Yeah.
Yeah. Or is even 3 days to, like, and would there be like a kilometer limit? Like you probably don't want to run longer. Like, is it that technical or like?
I don't know the fuck. I don't know kilometers, bro. From the States, man.
Oh, sorry, miles. Like, is it?
I'm fucking with you.
Crazy.
So I would say that, just this is how I told my guys, because I got guys that love to run. They fucking love it. In fact, I've trained a lot of guys who are like in the military. And it's part of their protocol, like they have to do it, or just people who are training for like a 5K or marathon. So it's really about how does the running impact your strength. That's how you want to look at, like, how does the running impact my strength? So if you're training for strength, and you're in your calorie deficit to lose fat, like this example of you guys, are you still strong? Right? Do you still have the strength to move the same amount of weight that you was moving before your cut started? Or are you even getting stronger? because that means you're doing everything right. That means your recovery is good, you know, your nutrition, your fucking sleep is on point, and, you know, your program is good. So prove the strength while, you know what I'm saying, adhering to the deficit. Now, if you are doing cardio incrementally on the back end of that, as long as you're not losing your gains in the gym, your strength gains, then I think it's fine, you know? So what I would have my guys do is like, all right, let's start with 2 days of running. You know what I'm saying? Let's just do, you know, 20 minutes. Let's not go too crazy with it. And then is the strength still good? Because we be tracking everything. Back to tracking, right? So we're tracking the nutrition. We're tracking the actual lifts in the gym. So I could see, oh, your strength is increasing. We're losing weight every week. You're looking better. All right, so that means you're not losing muscle. So let's scale up if you want. Let's do 3 runs a week at 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Or scale up the time, just depending on what you're willing to devote to it. But that's how I would look at it. Like, use the motherfucking data to determine how much cardio you gonna do. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the whole weight loss 6-pack thing, right? Because you're on a fast right now.
I do that shit. Yeah.
Does fasting? Would you recommend people, if they're cutting, to here and there just do a 24-hour fast? Would that help?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. So people have this misconception that we're supposed to be eating all the time.
We're not.
We're not.
Breakfast is a fucking made up scam.
Yeah, it was a marketing scheme. It was brilliant.
Exactly.
Right?
It worked.
It made
Here we
like
are.
billions, right? You know what I mean?
Now we have all day breakfast.
It's a whole industry in it of itself, but it's made up, right?
Sure.
And so the thing is, like, what is breakfast, right? It's break fast, right? So the time in which you break your fast is up to you, because everybody's fasting every day.
Oh, for sure.
You know, you're fasting when you sleep. You don't fucking get up in the middle of the night and eat while you're still sleeping. No, you have to wake up and actually eat. You know what I mean? If you wanted to do that. So like, we all fast. It's just determining the extent to which you want to do it. And, you know, our ancestors, you know, the motherfucking cave people, they didn't have refrigerators. You know what I'm saying? How was they surviving long periods of time, you know, without dying for us to even get here? Well, they got good at fasting, right? They would feast and then fast. They would eat. They'd kill like a mammoth, eat that whole motherfucker, right? Their body would, you know, consume what it could and utilize what it could, and then store the rest as fat. And then they would live off the reserves until they killed another mammoth. They wasn't eating every day like us. That's why all these fucking diseases exist, because our bodies are not designed to be eating so much. You know what I mean? Like, and so I think everybody can benefit from a fast, whether your goal is fat loss, like you guys are talking about, or your muscle building, general health. Like, you know, a fast, you know, taking a period of time to actually allow your body's natural hormones to, you know, come into play as it pertains to correcting, you know, a lot of the things that go wrong with over consumption of food is extremely beneficial. I mean, your body actually is designed to heal itself in the fasting times, which is a lot of people don't even think about that shit, right? Like,
for sure.
You know, there's a lot of science. You guys can look it up if you don't fucking believe this bald guy from Detroit. You know, there's a lot of science that you know, lends itself to the fact that it's, you know, it kills off dead cells that may be associated with cancerous properties, as well as like, you know, lowering cholesterol, lowering blood pressure levels, you know, increasing insulin sensitivity. You know, guys, insulin resistance is the #1 cause of, you know, diseases like diabetes, for example, or fatty liver, things like that. So, you know, it's just really anti a lot of the bullshit that people deal with. I don't see why more people ain't doing it.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe because they scared. Maybe because they soft. Maybe because they want to be comfortable.
Well, also, I think it's an addiction.
Food?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like, I'm a kind of guy where naturally, like, I skip breakfast. It's because I have a weird digestive system. So it's a habit I created during high school. I just wouldn't eat breakfast. So kind of carried out through my adult life, right? But like, you know, the iced coffee, you just go for a grab. Like, even like, you know, you just get something to drink. Like, it's like that addiction, you know? And then even every time like I took like tracking my calories serious, the reason I asked you that question earlier was because I'd be the guy who just fit in my junk food, you know? And just like, I mean, I like how it tastes. I even do stupid stuff where like I would like if I was on a diet and I like binge too much on one day, like the next day I just like starve myself and like kind of catch up the next day, you know? So it's a hardcore addiction, fam.
I would agree with that 100%. It is an addiction because people utilize it not for what it's for, but for how it makes them feel.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You know,
oh, yeah.
I tell people all the time when they come to me with this bullshit about like, oh man, you know, I can't eat the same foods every day, or I get cravings, or blah 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 blah. I'm like, yo, it's food, right? You know, food is not your motherfucking entertainment system, right? You can get a PlayStation for that, right?
Facts.
It ain't your motherfucking you know, emotional support system, right? You can get a therapist for that. You know what I'm saying? Get you a motherfucking pet, right? Like it's just fuel. It's just something to energize your body with. And people do abuse it. And I really, you know, I was thinking about this earlier because, you know, one of my clients was telling me like, oh man, you know, I love alcohol. And it's like, the first thing I thought was like, no, you don't. You don't love alcohol. You love how alcohol makes you feel. You know, nobody
Take notes, bro.
Nobody loves fucking, you know, putting toxins in their body that makes them sick. Like, no, they love the feeling that they get, you know, when they initially get high, when they initially get the buzz. And so that's what people have to realize is that emotionally they're attaching themselves to what they feel after they eat the food or during that session, or maybe they have an emotional attachment to a certain, you know, memory tied to that, or a certain association.
Oh, for
you know?
sure.
That's kind of what I was thinking when you said like breakfast has always been the thing. It's like maybe there was something like that you know, experienced during that time of day when having breakfast that you miss, or that, you know, it makes you feel a certain way, and you're like, I want that
Oh, for sure.
feeling.
Wait,
you know?
what's your? Because I don't eat breakfast either. Because low-key it just makes me feel nauseous in the morning. What's your thing?
Just because I remember, if I was going to school, like if I eat breakfast, I want to take a shit later, and I didn't like shitting at school. So
Yeah, it's kind of gross at school.
yeah,
man.
I wouldn't mind like eating lunch. I could just wait till like 3 hours, right? But if I had to take a shit in the morning and hold it all the way till I come home at night,
I don't
like,
think anybody likes shit.
Yeah,
I
so
think it just kind of happens
but
as a
that's
default.
but that's why I wouldn't eat breakfast. That was the
That's
reason.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's actually talk about nutrition a bit more. So
Yeah.
obviously, some people they struggle to hit their protein goals, so they'll hit.
Do they now? Yeah, I got some tips on that.
Yeah. But like, what about? Okay, so do you guys have Premier Protein, that brand here?
Yeah.
So okay, what about those like
what you say? Primer protein?
Premier Protein?
Premier. Yeah.
What did I say?
I'm just making fun of the
Oh,
Canadian thing, you know.
Wait, how do you say it?
Premier.
How did I say it?
Premier.
Did I say Premier?
Yeah.
Oh.
You say-
Wow, I'm such a retard. Eh?
it's cool.
Okay,
man.
okay.
I ain't no judgment over here.
So
man.
in Premier Protein, those like bars or
Yeah.
like even the shakes.
Yeah.
Is it healthy to eat those or consume those every day?
So I don't like labeling shit as healthy and unhealthy, right? Because
okay, is it beneficial for getting a six pack? There we
it
go.
could be, depending on what
Okay.
the rest of your motherfucking day looks like. Right?
Okay.
Like it's not the only thing, right? The reason I don't do the health or non-healthy is because that's not objective. Healthy food is subjective, right? So
Okay.
we talk about fasting, right? Fasting can be healthy for somebody who's obese, but for somebody who's malnourished, is it still healthy?
No. So it's another day.
Yeah, sorry. It's just another, you know, but it might not be, you know, the best thing for a motherfucker who ain't eating like 10 days and ain't got nutrients to keep fasting.
God.
Right? Fasting ain't healthy for pregnant women. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. They got to be constantly fed, right? So I don't think anything is like inherently healthy or unhealthy. It's what is healthy for you in association to where you at and where you want to get to, right? I just gotta get that off because people be asking me like, "Was this healthy? Is that healthy?" I'm like, "Yo, it depends, right? It depends on where you at and where you want to get." So Premier could be good, but any protein shake could be good, just as long as it fits into the certain amount of calories and then the macros that you want to hit to hit the targets that you have for yourself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Well, I guess another question is, so people in the recomp phase, right?
Yeah.
Even people that are cutting and bulking, how often, or not how often, at what point, obviously I know it's, fuck, I know what you're going to say. Never mind. I was going to ask, when should you switch back? But you're going to say, oh, when you've reached your goal and you've tracked your, I got it, yeah.
Yeah. And that's that's the thing, is like tracking to give you the power to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
Fair.
you said yo-yo earlier.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't do that on purpose.
No.
Right? You didn't want to say, yo, I want to lose some weight and then get fat again, right? That shit was an accident, right? But that accident.
He just called you fat, by the way.
Well, I wasn't saying you.
I'm actually at my skinny point right now.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, skinny point. All right. But like, and the thing was that shit happens on accident, and it happens to like millions of people every year. because they don't keep track of what
Yeah.
actually got them there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Imagine being in like the backseat of a car, right? You fall asleep and somebody drives you somewhere and then you wake up and now you there, but you don't know how to get back.
That was terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
That's sort of horror movie.
Yeah. That's the equivalent of fucking like getting on the motherfucking diet and like you don't know what's working, what's not working. You have no clue as to how to actually maintain it once you get there. So that's why tracking is the dopest shit you can do. You track your money, don't you? You know how much money is in your account?
You know what's crazy? Low key, no.
No?
I just, the numbers keep going up and I get happy.
Okay. Well, maybe you've reached a different state of abundance with your money where you don't have to look at it every day.
I don't look at my money every day, no.
Okay.
But I don't, do you guys look at your money every day?
If not every day, at least a couple times a week for sure.
Yeah.
Like log into everything.
Dead ass?
Yeah.
Why I don't look at
But
my money?
I'm a proper nerd now, fam. Like I even have a spreadsheet where I start typing shit out, like seeing when it's up and down. Like I have like a spreadsheet from like 2019 that's like relatively like check in every so often. It's a habit.
Bro, bro, like my main bank app, I'll maybe open it 2-3 times a month.
But do you relatively know kind of what's in there, or is it like,
for sure.
Okay, so you got like a ballpark figure, like within
like my
a few
spending
thousand.
habits are all the same more or less. Money coming in is usually freaking, you know, like I know what's coming in.
Exactly. So it's like, you know, it's like it's levels to this, right? Like, okay, so the way that your attitude right now with your money, you can get to that level, and this is a lesson for the guys at home, right? You can get to that level of abundance and sort of just, I guess, comfort. I don't like the word comfort. Maybe we should use another word, but
Confidence.
There we go. That level of confidence or competence.
Oh,
that's another one.
that's another
right?
C word.
The fast is kicking in, right? The level of competence where you can be a little intuitive, you know, because you're intuitive right now with your money. It sounds like, and you can get to that with calories at a certain point if you track long enough to actually see. Okay, I know 4 ounces of steak is relatively 200 to 300 calories, and I know I've had this much today, so I know I'm somewhere in this ballpark. But you got to start tracking to actually get to that point.
Yes.
And motherfuckers just like out here trying to skip, you know what I'm saying, skip steps and get, you know, top tier results without putting in the effort on the front end. You know, so.
Okay, now I got a question. A lot of people obviously say don't drink alcohol, or maybe not, don't drink as much alcohol during weight loss and stuff. And we're gonna pass over that because like common sense, man, empty calories. But what about nicotine? Like whether it's vaping, cigarettes, cigars, shisha.
Actually, you seem like a very alpha type of guy. What do you think about people that vape?
What do I think about vape? I've never thought about it in my life, honestly.
Pussies that vape, right?
Yeah, I ain't. Well, no. I know some guys who are like I legit respect them as men who vape every day. Okay. So I wouldn't say pussies vape. I would just say that I've never thought about it personally because it's just not my thing. Because here's the thing, like
I'm telling you, this guy can't stop sucking on that thing.
That's crazy. That's crazy. No Diddy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, okay, so what was your intro to nicotine? You got going to memory banks. That's a secret episode.
Yeah. Were you like 6?
Crazy. Nah.
Came out the womb.
Let's just, when we're talking about vapes, around high school time maybe.
Okay, high school.
Wait, vapes were a thing when we were in high school?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you talking like beginning of high school, like
towards the endish maybe.
So over 10 years you've been doing this shit, like
maybe like 6 to 8.
Okay, 6 to 8. Okay, so
and I also been times where like I just stopped for a couple of years in between. Yeah.
So what I guess what do you get from it? Like what do you get out of the nicotine?
It's like a therapy session.
Yeah, I just want to know because I ain't never done it before.
Just like how it feels.
Okay.
What a
man. When you say how it feels, like because that means different stuff to different people. Like, what do you mean?
So you get a head rush, obviously. You ever smoked nicotine before?
I've smoked cigars.
A cigar, yeah.
Yeah, I've smoked Black and Mild. Y'all know what Black and Mild is?
Yeah.
What's that?
Like cigarello.
Oh, okay.
Talk about ones like with white tips at the end, yeah. Yeah, cigarello.
Oh, like almost like a mouthpiece, like a flute. That
flute.
Pause.
It does.
No Diddy. Fuck's sake.
God. But that head rush feeling you get, you know. Yeah. I also sometimes you get that positive train of thought. Nicotine's known to like mess with the what's it, the
neural pathways,
the neurons. Kind of fires your neurons. Okay. So like it feels like your thoughts are just well connected.
Yeah.
I've had experiences where, this is not to sound superstitious, but like my more successful years
Okay.
of smoking. The years I quit were like the more like shittier years. So like now it's to the point where like before I used to want to quit smoking.
Yeah.
Now it's to the point where I don't even care to quit smoking. I know it's probably not the most healthy thing, but
Okay.
like I said, like if it got to a point where it's affecting my health, I wouldn't even mind switching to like patches or even the
Yeah.
gum.
So it sounds like it's safe to say, you can tell me if I'm wrong, like you just feel better. Like
Yeah.
you're
It's like coffee, you know. I don't really drink coffee, but people
Right.
they like that spike.
Right.
Gives me that little edge.
I got
I
you.
like how it feels.
So basically what I'm hearing is like, it's like, and this will kind of bring my point to why I've never done it, is like you get an emotional state increase from it. And so it's just something that you do because you know you feel better. And when you feel better, the quality of your life is better because you think better thoughts, which means you make better decisions. And if you make better decisions, then the results in your life improve, right? So it's kind of like, you know, if you're in a shitty state, you know what I mean, you have shitty results because the decisions you make are shitty, right?
Fair.
So I think the reason I never really got into nicotine personally is because I found other ways to get that high.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Without it. So like one of my big things, and it's still a thing to this day, is like music.
Fair.
So I was always like a guy, like when I was in college, I would walk around campus with like big ass headphones on and just kind of be in my own world. So I would love just like listening to music. It always changes my state. And I recognize that early. You know, but now like the gym kind of does that for me, like going in there, you know, picking up some heavy weight, you know, sort of watching my body change after, you know, consecutive years of doing this shit. Like that feels good, seeing that pump, you know what I mean? And then, you know, just like doing things for other people, right? So like you know, obviously I coach, so like hearing their wins, like I actually tell them when they have their check-in calls with me, like, hey, let's start with the wins. You know what I mean? What's going good? Because their successes become my success because one, you know, I'm linked to them and the things I'm contributing to their life is improving their lives. More importantly, like I feel better, and I know if I feel better, everything in my life is better. Hearing their wins and everything. So I just always found ways to like change my state like differently, and so that's why I was able to, you know, just kind of go through life without ever really getting too much into substances because I just found other shit that made me feel
better,
that high. Yeah.
Fair. But on like a fitness level, do you think does it affect that at all? Like.
I mean, I would say not really.
No.
Nicotine itself, no. I mean, you may get some of the sort of negative side effects of like, let's say you were, because I haven't done a lot of research, I'm gonna be honest, on the vaping versus actual smoking.
Yeah.
You know, smoking is like really cancerous to your lungs.
For sure.
But vaping, I know that's different because of the way that
it's a vapor. Like
it's not as harmful to your respiratory system. To my understanding, right? I had to do more research, but like from that perspective, I think like the nicotine itself, I don't think it's doing anything like negative to you. You know, if anything, all you're getting that stimulation, but it's addictive, as you said. You know, I don't think it.
Yeah, I just want to know because obviously it's so many clients over the year, and I wondered like if nicotine was ever a thing where like you know someone because I actually heard when people quit smoking cigarettes, they end up gaining weight.
I know guys who are fucking ripped that smoke every day. You know what I mean? And I suspect it's because it may have a sort of
appetite suppression
plus sort of spike in heart rate to some degree that might lead to like your body burning more calories. Your body burns more calories, you're more likely to retain weight loss.
Supposedly, it increases your testosterone as well. Consumption of nicotine,
Maybe.
Supposedly.
See, now you want me to do some more research, and I'm down for it, man. I want to learn some shit too.
Either that, or you're just lying through your teeth so you can keep vaping.
No, I think it was actually Andrew Tate who said that smoking cigars. Or something.
I feel like I think that was just when he's trolling. Remember, he was like, "Oh, his daily diet of 6 cigars and 8 coffees a day. That's all he has."
Fair.
I promise you, it's not that. You know?
Hey, I don't know. I don't know about testosterone, but I do know about cognitive function. But it's interesting. A lot of this is information suppressed. Like when you Google online, like I don't know why, but look into it, man.
I know guys. Look, I know guys who are ripped, man, and smoke every day. So I'm not negating the effects of it. I just, like I said, I found ways to get that high from other areas. So I never had a need to.
Fair. Before we go into Final Four, I want to ask him one more question. Are you good? Or are you ready to wrap?
Yeah, I think we're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
Okay. So last question before we do a Final Four round. Before we wrap the episode up.
Yeah.
Diet Coke versus regular Coke.
Fuck both of them.
Fuck both of them.
Yeah, man. What the fuck you drinking Coke for, man?
It's
What is it doing for you?
That Coke Zero goes nice with the meal, you know? Yeah.
You know, because here's the thing. Here's how I look at it. Like there you can lose weight doing both.
Yeah.
Right. But how is it actually benefiting your journey of weight loss? Right. So you guys, again, you heard me come in here with what? Fucking water with electrolytes.
Yes.
Each of those have a purpose as it pertains to me being able to sustain energy through this fast. Hydration helps your body mobilize fat, fat for fuel, and that's going to help me get through this fast. But then the hydration pack, right, the electrolytes itself helps my brain function, immune system function, you know, organ function, right, muscle function, all those functions in the body for me to be able to sustain energy and life and really be able to curb that appetite. You know, what does Coke or Coke Zero do for me? You know, put a little something sweet on my tongue so I feel good about myself. You know what I'm saying? I just fuck that. Like I feel good about myself regardless of what the fuck I'm drinking. Right? I don't need no motherfucking sugar or fake sugar to feel good about my day.
So here's the thing. You're a disciplined person.
I am.
So it's a big difference, right? But let's take an example of somebody who's on a fast food diet.
Yeah.
And they're used to, with all their meals, having just regular Pepsi, right? So that person in mind, if that guy switched it from like Coke in this case to Coke Zero, will that like ruin his gains, like the Coke Zero itself?
I'm not gonna say it'll ruin his gains. I'm just
because it's 0 calories, right?
Look. I want to go on record and saying that you can lose weight, you can get ripped with Coke or Coke Zero if it fits into your macros properly and you adhere to it. Both of them motherfuckers though will make it difficult for you to stay in that deficit in comparison to water. Here's why.
Okay.
Here's why. You know, what does Coke have in it? Sugar.
Let's use Coke Zero for example.
What is Coke Zero? I feel like you have like a attachment to this. This is like your shit.
Yeah, I like a Coke Zero on the side.
So it has fake sugar in it.
Yeah.
Bro, you should take a look at our fridge.
Yeah, it's probably loaded up. Okay, so it has fake sugar. Fake sugar does not affect you the same way that real sugar does in some aspects, but some ways it does. Okay. Right? So you have, you know, aspartame or aspartame, whoever you're talking to will pronounce it differently. But that shit will give your body the signal that sugar is present, even though it's not. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you get what's called an insulin spike. Yeah. You know, your blood sugar levels spike over a certain point, and your body secretes a hormone called insulin, which now stores nutrients instead of you burning nutrients for fuel. Right? Now, if you're eating it with a meal, that was going to happen regardless. Okay. But what you're doing is you're promoting your body to now store more than it burns. You know what I mean? So you motherfuckers who out here just like fasting, but you drinking Coke Zero or something else because it's 0 calories, what you realizing is you're actually not fasting no more when you put that fake sugar in your body. So what you're doing is you conditioning your body to get better at storing. You know what I mean? And you know, you can. I know this for a fact. That's why I led with what I led with. You can outwork that. Yeah. You know, if you're training consistently, if you're able to adhere to your diet. But sometimes, man, people end up with these fucking cravings because they're conditioning their body to actually get like better at like storing. Like you get so conditioned to fucking putting that fake sugar in your body, you're not hydrating enough. Yeah. And if you're not hydrating enough, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get to your calories for the day and you're like, fuck, I want something else. But you was really dehydrated. It wasn't that you need more food, it's that you needed more water, but you was just drinking Coke Zero all day, so you didn't get the hydration you needed. So that's why people struggle with dieting, is they be like not focusing on putting the right things. It's gonna keep them nourished. You know, my big 3 for killing cravings, just for anybody who wants this knowledge, and you guys as well, if you want it, is get at least a gallon of water in a day, hit your lean body mass or close to your body mass in protein, and then get at least 30 grams of fiber every day. Right? You hit those 3, you're gonna get to your calorie goal, you're not even gonna be hungry. You're gonna be good. You do that shit.
Oh, what are you talking, a gram per pound?
So the gram per pound thing is misleading, because like a gram per pound for us, all right, you can do that. But if you're 400 pounds, am I telling you to eat 400 grams of protein? No. Right? Like I got clients who are 400, 500, 600
but you go
pounds.
broke.
Yeah. Or you fucking kill over, right? Like it's just too much protein. So like I always say, make it relative to your lean body mass. If you're over, like, I don't know, like if you're over 30% body fat. So you have to kind of know your body fat. But for most guys, right, if you're like 250 or less, you can get away with that gram per, pound of body weight. But guys that's over that, man, because nobody talks to those guys. But I coach those guys, and I know, like, they not going to be able to eat 300, 400, 500 grams of protein. That's fucking stupid to even shoot for that. You actually just want to shoot for something relative to your lean body mass if you're that big.
Wait, what is lean body mass?
So lean body mass is your muscle, without the fat.
Oh.
So you got to know your body fat percentage.
Okay,
And then
got
when
you.
you get that, you can get that tested at like
gyms have them sometimes.
Some gyms have like the in-body scan or like a DEXA scan, or you can just get the home body fat scale.
Are those skills accurate? Better than nothing.
It's pretty accurate in relation to kind of like just the overall scheme of like what actually tracks, right? Because you got the DEXA, you got the in-body. Those are higher percentage of accuracy than the home scale, but home scale obviously not.
Yeah, I heard you get this for like $20 off Amazon.
Yeah,
Roshan recently got one.
Yeah.
I got one, man. You know what I'm saying? I think it's worth the
Bro, this whole
investment.
industry is crazy though.
The what? The
This
industry?
whole, like, bro, because then you got the $20 one, and then they have one where like they submerge your whole fucking body underwater, because like
Yeah,
like.
and that's the most accurate one, by the
But
way.
why would you need to have that information?
Some people want to know. Think about if you in the Olympics, bro.
No, yeah, if you're like a fucking like an athlete, like
Yeah,
Buddy, but like those guys are already getting so slim, like, bro, like they pinch their skin and like there's nothing there, you know?
Yeah, but when you're an elite, you're
I
battling
guess.
against other elites.
Fair.
Like now you're talking about
Oh, we're
percentage
talking about
points of
micro-tracking.
endurance. Yeah.
I thought we were talking about the Illuminati now.
Crazy.
Yo, two quick. Yeah.
I gotta ask a super quick one.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, with
Give him
fasting.
a quickie.
Yeah. Let me give you a quickie real quick. with, with fasting, does the smoking like fuck up the fast?
The smoking fuck up the fast.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yo, buddy, can you just put down the bake?
yeah.
What's wrong with this guy?
No, but I'm just saying, like, yo, like,
Just put it down,
yo,
bro.
I'm fasting. We fast in Ramadan, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I'm Muslim, and we can't smoke while we're fasting. 'Cause
Right.
this is a spiritual fast. It's not about
course.
food anymore, right?
Exactly, yeah.
But like an intermittent fast, like you're fine to be ripping like cigarettes or vape. That's be fine.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, like, again, you were talking about hormones being a factor that actually influences whether you're fasted or fed. To my knowledge, just smoking doesn't affect you hormonally like that. Not to where your body is like, because here's the rule of thought. It's like if your blood glucose levels rise to a point where your body secretes a hormone called insulin, which stores nutrients, your fast is broken.
Broken.
Right? So you're not, cigarettes and
They wouldn't do
fucking,
that.
blunts. They don't do that. Yeah.
But like chewing gum, for an example's sake, would.
Yeah.
Because the sugar in there.
Because of the sugar, exactly.
Or even, I guess, if it's fake sugar, like that would, regardless, if there's taste in it,
Yeah.
but electrolyte drink, like, what about electrolyte drink with the flavor? Would that break your fast?
So that's kind of like this gray area, right? Because you do get the fake sugar effect that does cause an insulin response. But then on the other side of it, you get the benefits of the electrolytes themselves actually being there to provide the brain function and help your muscles and cells retain the water that you're drinking. So this is where I get into the realm of what I call a dirty fast, right? So there's a whole fasting community you guys are probably not even aware of, but there's some dorks out there that's like, yo, I only fast, on these products and these products and these products, these things and these things, right? So you have the clean fasters and you got the dirty fasters. The clean fasters is the ones it's only drinking water, fucking like table salt or Himalayan pink salt or some shit, coffee and tea. That's it. The dirty fasters will allow things in and have a little bit of that artificial, shit to it.
Like the little 1, 2 Coke Zero here and there.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you got the decision to make if you want to be a dirty fast. But my rule of thought is I think if you doing like electrolytes, for example, the benefits outweigh the cost.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 rapid fire questions. How often should an average person fast?
How often?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that really, again, it depends on where they're at and what their goals are.
Sure.
Like if you take me, back in 2016, I lost 50 pounds in 5 months. Wow. Right. And people would be like, oh man, how the fuck did you do that? Well, I didn't do the shit y'all doing, right? I was tracking, right? I was consistent, and I did fasting the whole time. So my intermittent fasting window most of the time was like 16-8. So I would fast 16 hours and eat 8 hours of the day. But there came times, and this kind of goes to your point earlier about like, where you have to adjust along the way, and what do you do when you get back, to your goal? Do you, change the calories back? Like there were phases where I would lose like, 20 pounds, and then I'm like, all right, the scale's not moving as much. I got to get more aggressive, or I got to adjust this. And so what I would do is I would like maybe extend my fast a little longer. So instead of 16, maybe I do 8 hours for a week, or maybe I do 20 hours for a week, and sort of just see like how my body adjusts to being in the fastest state for longer. So I think it really just depends on where you at, what your goal is, how aggressive you want to get towards that goal. And obviously, this is the big one. How are you performing? Like, how's your strength? How's your energy, in the gym, things like that. You know what I mean? And just those things will tell you, how often you should do it. But you got to do it right. You got to hydrate. Like I started the episode with, you got to get your electrolytes, man. If you're a caffeine motherfucking junkie like me, get your caffeine. You know what I mean? So that's what determines how often.
Okay, fair. Second quick rapid fire question. What's the longest time period you've fasted for, and what is the longest time period that a human can actually live on?
Oh man, that's a good one. So my longest is 72. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I've done it a few times and just hit 72 and all right, I'm good. Now I can go beyond that if I want to. I just don't really have a reason personally, because one, I'm already pretty lean, and whenever I'm doing it to get a little bit more ripped for something, like maybe I got a photo shoot coming up, or maybe I'm about to record some content shirtless, I'm pretty close, so I don't need to go as aggressive.
Well, perfect. We're gonna give you a reason. Can you make this one 73?
Can I make it to 73? Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So now you have a reason to do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah,
cool.
So it's easy.
Now your longest is 73 hours.
Okay, so
Look
I'm
at
gonna do that. I'm gonna do 73. I'm gonna let you guys know once I get there. But that's the facet of me. The longest in history is from this guy named Angus Barberi. You guys can look this guy up. He fasted for I think like 382 days or something like that. Yeah, he was over. I think he was like 300 or 400 pounds. Like he was big as hell.
Is this recent or is this a while ago?
This was like a while ago. This was like
I seen someone on YouTube do like something crazy. Like I don't know if it was 1 year or if it was like 6-month water fast, but it could have been cap.
Yeah. Now you can do it if you do it properly. There's another facet of it I didn't bring up that I do as well. I take a multivitamin when I'm fasting. You know what I mean, just to get those, those nutrients in the body as well. But like Angus Barberi, the guy who recorded the longest fast in human history, all he did was drink water and get multivitamins.
What the fuck?
And he was fat enough to sustain life that long. Because you got to think.
Did he come into the game obese or?
He was big as hell.
400 pounds.
Oh,
He was
400
400
pounds.
pounds. He was big as fuck. Yeah. So he lost over 200.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Doing that shit. You know
1
what I mean?
year. That's crazy.
year.
That's actually insane.
Like split.
Yeah, literally.
Where's that weight go? Like you shit it out or like you breathe down to the air?
It's both.
Both?
You shit some of it out. You breathe some of it out. It just leaves you.
Yeah, I was wondering. Like,
What do you think his
Sweat,
first meal was like after that?
I mean, probably fruits.
Yeah.
Some sort of fruit.
No,
maybe.
like what do you think he like?
Or like actually after he totally broke his fast,
Yeah.
probably a steak or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a burger. A lot of people, I think,
He probably just didn't know how to act. Like, fuck, like, what do I do? Like,
yeah,
it's
like
food.
imagine like
Yeah.
actually doing that. You haven't
Come
ate
on.
food. Like food doesn't touch like bro your tongue, your taste buds. I haven't had nothing for a whole
Probably
year.
the most delicious shit he ever had.
Literally.
Yeah. That's what I heard too about like the fast, like even like the guys that do like the 70 fast or 80 fast, like even like they see the vegetables have like a different taste
Yeah.
that you usually don't taste.
Because it resensitizes your
palate
taste
buds.
buds, so to be able to actually pick up on taste that maybe you were desensitized to from having it so regularly. Yeah.
Damn. What should we go into our final four?
I guess we're gonna go into our final four round.
All right, let's get
So
it.
is our final four round where you, Brian, I actually can't speak English today. I don't know what happened.
It should sound like a game show.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask you 4 questions, and you gotta answer with the first thing that comes to your head.
Okay.
Okay. So to start off, if you had to swap lives with someone for 24 hours, who would you pick?
I swap lives. Part of me wanted to say Kanye West.
Kanye.
Because Kanye, he's an enigma, and he has the power to change the dynamic of like the narrative on him at a whim. So one moment the world hates him, another moment the world loves him, another moment the world hates him again, another moment the world loves him, and I I would just want to see what it would like to be that polarizing. Like, but maybe for like a day. Like, I wouldn't want to like be Kanye forever. Because I do fucking love being me. But I just would be curious because it's like to have that type of dynamic where you can just, I don't know, you can be hated or loved in any dynamic. You really get to see human behavior for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Kanye song?
My favorite Kanye song is All of the Lights.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. Next question is, if who would you say is the most motivational person of all time for you?
Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay.
Because I'm black.
Yeah, fair.
But his is Gandhi.
Yeah. But no, MLK, because he's like, he literally just like decided that, yo, I know that y'all don't fuck with what I'm talking about, but I'm gonna do it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, and I really support and fuck with anybody who decides that they're gonna do something regardless of how anybody else feels.
Fair.
Yeah.
Dope. All right, let's just say your whole life from the day you were born till now is written in a book. What would the title of that book be called?
The title of that book, man, I feel like I'm piggybacking, but I really feel like this. It'd be the journey of the man who gives no fucks about what the fuck you feel. You know what I mean?
Pretty
It's
long
kind
title.
of a book already out there like that, but that's where I would be like, I legitimately do not give a fuck about what people think I should be doing, what people think I should be saying, or how people feel about the direction of my life. Because I genuinely fuck with me, and I know the things that I want to do to provide value to the world, like somebody's gonna fuck with it, and it's, you know, those are the people that I'm talking to when I talk. So I think it'd be that. But there's something inherently, you know, kind of cool about that. Is like, if I can inspire that in more men in our society, I think more men will go on and do great things.
For sure.
You know, without the sort of the doubt or fear of, you know, what could stop them or what others may think. And so I think we'd get more contributions if more people just was like, yo, fuck what y'all talking about. Like, I'm about to do this.
Fair.
You know.
Last final question. If today was your dying message to the world, what would your final message be?
I think I just said it.
Fair.
All right.
That pretty much wraps up the episode. We're going to put all Cory's links in the description below.
Yeah.
And guys, until next time, remember, stay seeking success.